Hello, welcome to Hitchhiking Stars YouTube channel. A little bit late as well, again, not late, but slightly later. I want to know how you're doing. Some of you have been writing to me. This is really awesome. I'm very interested, even if I take a little longer nowadays to reply, because I'm tremendously busy. You can see around me, there's a little bit of mess. I'm just packing up because I'm moving on Sunday. So this coming Sunday, I'll be flying to Greece, Athens, whereas my next destination, I'll be living in Athens for the next 3 months. So if you know anything interesting about Athens that you think I should be checking, please let me know. Or any next destination that you think it would be worth for me to live in for a while, because I am going digital nomad officially. So let's have a look at what's going on in the sky for this week. And this is a very important week. We're heading towards eclipse season. So eclipse season, powerful, powerful lunations, especially if it picks up something on your chart. If it's, activating something in your chart to the degree. Now I was just having a look at Predictive Astrology, The Eagle and the Lark by Bernadette Brady, which happens to be one of my tutors for the MA, actually. Really recommend this book if you're interested in predictive astrology. Very, very good. And there's a whole chapter about eclipses. So yes, there's something about eclipses. So what is gonna happen is, so this is today, 26th of April, 2022. We do have a big still in Pisces, and I was mentioning that last week. We had a strong Piscean, Jupiterian, the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is still within orb. I do consider within orb. It's just three degrees separated, but they're still there. It's still we're still ripple effects, from this conjunction. And Mercury is sort of sextiling Mercury in Taurus. So some interesting, very strong Piscean energy that we're sort of navigating now. So tomorrow moon will move on. We'll move into Aries. So kick, a bit of a kick in the nuts, some extra energy there for us. I am doing a huge clearing, giving away a lot of stuff. I actually realized I am a Jupiter-Neptune conjunction myself, but Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in the second house of my chart. So there's a lot of detachment, letting go of material possessions that's happening for me at the moment. So I'm going to take that moon in Aries energy to continue that person and to really take action. I just booked a charity collection to come in and pick up a lot of the stuff. Anyways, the real interesting thing that we're looking for, we've got a trine between Mercury and Pluto on Thursday, 28th of April. So insights, deeper insights, deeper conversations, breakthroughs, psychological breakthroughs, maybe, could be reflected there. But what I'm really interested is that we're going to have a Venus-Jupiter conjunction. So this is one of the things that's happening this week, but it will be happening at the exact eclipse. This is a solar eclipse. So it's a new moon, which means it's a solar eclipse. It's partial because it's a bit far from the lunar nodes. So we've got sun moon at 10 degrees Taurus. The north node is a 22 Taurus. So slightly far, but still within orb. So we still have a new moon solar eclipse. Now, really interesting because we have Venus-Jupiter conjunction at 27 Pisces. This is the degree of exaltation of Venus. There's something really powerful of that conjunction between Venus and Jupiter. Something quite hopeful as well. I think we're still kind of navigating a very hopeful set of events, set of astrological aspects, of astrological transits. I'm very interested in something that sounds very healing, very forgiving. We're continuing with the forgiveness, with the letting go, with leaving things behind that don't really serve you anymore, because that Venus-Jupiter can bring a lot of abundance, can bring a lot of things that do serve you right now. So make sure to do a big clearing this week, so you can really step into this new moon, to this new cycle powerfully and positively. That new moon eclipse is also sextile to Mars, so another interesting flowing aspect that we have for this new moon. A sextile to Mars, it feels like it's almost like a potential balance there between, you know, giving and taking, you know, sensuality, looking, you know, towards your needs, which is represented by moon and Taurus as well, but with that Mars in Pisces, there's something very lovely of that aspect as well. And Mercury will have moved into Mercury will have moved into Gemini, so this is very interesting too. So the main aspects here: Venus Jupiter conjunction exact, Mercury moving on to Gemini, so somehow communication getting faster, thinking process faster, deliveries, all the things that we associate with Mercury and Gemini as well. But the new moon is also not too far from Uranus. So what I found really interesting, now Bernadette Brady says in her book, and I want to share this with you guys, is that the main difference that she attributes to the solar versus lunar eclipse. So when is a full moon is a lunar eclipse, and that will be happening on the 16th of May. So we really are heading towards eclipse season right now. And she says that there is a slight difference there. It should say, as a rule of thumb, that seems that the solar eclipses, which is what we have in this Saturday, solar eclipses are more external, dealing with events around the person. And the lunar eclipses, the full moon, are more emotional and internal, pondering the problems of life and so on. Now, obviously, it's really difficult to place it into something exact, and there's a lot that she talks about it. But I thought there's something interesting about that. Another thing that I found in this chapter about eclipses, which I thought was very useful, very interesting, and I really want to share with you, is that Bernadette Brady compares eclipses to earthquakes. Yeah, she says that every now and then the earth needs to move a little bit to adjust, and sometimes because it's taken too long, you know, and it's like the earth has been settled for too long and needs to suddenly make a movement, it becomes an earthquake, and becomes this, you know, vast sort of uncomfortable sudden, you know, movement. Well, the eclipses can be a little bit like that too. So they're very much connected with big changes. Some astrologers talk about chapters, whole chapters ending and beginning, like, you know, versus the regular new moon, full moon, kind of like, yeah, it's a kind of a new beginning, but it's more rhythm, it's more like our daily rhythms, our monthly rhythms. Whereas with the eclipse, it's something that's a little bit longer, is more of a 6 months to, you know, a year type of movement. And in fact, those degrees have been in full moons and new moons back in November. So around November last year, you know, we were already having a new moon on that degree, I think around 11 degrees, 12 degrees is Scorpio. So what was going on there for you? I mean, I can't find my ephemeris, but there's something that, you know, is a continuation of that process, but now is a real turning point, of you know, this change, this change of chapter there that we're going through. So with Uranus being close by, it is very revolutionary. So you don't want a sudden earthquake in your life. So work with these changes, facilitate these changes, do a little bit by bit, you know, so you don't need a massive drama kind of taking over. And also with that Jupiter Venus there's something quite lovely and hopeful for these changes. Look forward, look ahead, see what it is that you're ready to move forward from, and what it is that you can bring into your life as well. This is a very special new moon eclipse. Is really interesting because it's the day before I'm flying to Athens, which is, you know, quite I didn't you know, elected that. My partner has that on his Venus, which is really interesting. Wasn't on purpose, it just kind of happened. We're sort of in the flow of cosmic energies there. So take that ride, you know, hitchhike these energies, take that ride, make the most of it. This is very full of potential for these new changes. Make some intentions. Write down some intentions that you really resonate with your values. We're talking about your values here as well with the Taurus. Dream big without Jupiter, Venus, and set those intentions. It's a wonderful time for new beginnings, new intentions, and etc. So Sunday, the day after, Venus will move to 29 degrees already, still pretty close to Jupiter. Great for artwork, great for spirituality, meditation, all of these, you know, it's really, really highlighted there as well. Moon then moves to Gemini, you know, conjoined Mercury, maybe some messages, some ideas, some movement, some cycling, some juggling around that day. But really, I think using astrology as a tool for self-care is wonderful, because it really is about knowing what the tide is looking like and what can you do with it. And I think new moons are usually about resting. New moon eclipse even more so. So make sure you look after yourself. Drink a lot of water. Look after yourself, and do that, you know, do those changes consciously, ponder on it, you know, really walk with it. Prepare yourself for the full moon, which is, you know, tends to be more emotional, as I said, from Bernadette. And the last thing to mention is Monday, Venus moves to Aries. So we have Venus leaving Pisces, entering Aries. So there's another ingress there, interesting ingress. So a change in, you know, values and enjoyment and etc. And the stellium Pisces slowly dissolving as well. Moving, you know, Jupiter will follow that a little later, but that's for another time. So this is it. Make the most of it. Enjoy yourself. Look after yourself. Eat well. Drink a lot of water. Do whatever it is that feels nourishing to you, and, you know, set those intentions. Think about those intentions. What it is that you'd like. How would you like your life to look like? What are you ready to let go of? Where is the eclipse falling in your chart? What house? What personal plans are being activated? Because that gives you clues on what areas can you place those changes. All right. Okay. So send me messages, write down comments. I love to read these comments under the video as well. I would be happy to comment as well to guide you further, help you to find which house is falling in your chart, etc. Check out my other work as well. I'm just about to write a little blog post as well. And that's it, folks. I'll see you next week when in Athens already. Wish me luck, and see you later.